Hello everybody. In today's episode we're going to take a look at this iPhone 6s. Now the symptoms that this has is literally you could charge it to 100%, turn it on, and in less than 5 minutes it's dead. Definitely a bad battery. So we're going to have a look at how to replace a battery in the iPhone 6. So, you know, nowadays, literally, this is a handheld computer that can make phone calls. Literally is what it is. And today, we're just lost without it. Like, you can't hardly imagine a life without these anymore. So, we're going to replace the battery and bring this back to life in this episode. So, grab you a cup of coffee, because every good repair takes a cup of coffee. Okay, so here we are with our iPhone 6s. The first thing you want to do is right here by the charging port, you're going to see two small screws. And they are a Torx screw. So you're going to want one of these small precision Torx bit drivers. It's a 0.8. So the thing you want to, especially whenever we get inside this phone, the thing you want to pay attention to is that you want to make sure that you put the screws in the right place, because there's different size screws in different areas of the phone. So, and it looks like I'm still seeing some the blue seal they put on these. So this phone's never been taken apart, guys. We're the first one to get inside this phone. So, I mean, that's a good thing. The one thing I did notice is there's, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's a few scratches on the digitizer. That does not affect the functionality of the phone. But especially whenever it's turned off, it's real prominent. But when it's turned on, you don't even really notice it. So now that we've got that off, what we're going to do is we're going to take our, got our little deal to separate the screen from the chassis. We're going to take our little suction cup we got here, guys. I'm going to kind of put it in the middle here, tie it up. You'll start to see a separation. Aha, we'll start to see a separation here, guys. And there we go, starting to separate right here. Got to be careful there when you're doing this that you don't crack the screen or anything. There we go. You want to kind of do it in the middle. Now that we got that up, let's stick this in. All right, you have to do it in the middle of the screen like this. As you're pulling up, you'll see that we got this edge right here started to come up. It does have a adhesive on it, so be real careful while doing this. Put this one here. Okay. Now what we want to do is just kind of go down the edge of it, guys, with our little separation tool, just real gently. Don't use any force. Don't go in here and twist. It's the worst thing you can do. Just kind of real gently glide it across. When we get down here, apply the suction cup, pull up. You'll see it starting to come up right here. Be real, ever so gentle. Okay. Now that I've come that far, let's come on this side. Come on, go. It's already pretty much lifted right here on this end. Okay. It's starting to come up now. You want to be careful around here, guys, because it does have the cable there. Let's see if we can get this edge up on that adhesive. And we are. Okay, so now when we get to this point, you want to have something. I've got this circuit board holder here. You want to have something because we're going to lift up this way. You can see the adhesive here. You don't want to go more than 90 degrees, guys. So what we're going to do, I don't know if you should be able to see in the camera, we're going to take this shield off. You can see the SIM card here. I'm going to take this shield off right here. So that is going to be a tiny, tiny, tiny screwdriver. So I've got this. Now this is where you want to make sure that you leave the screws in the right spot. So I'm going to stick them here in my thing, you know, right here, the screw holder here. So we'll stick that one right there. And then we'll stick this one's up here in the corner. Kind of. One by the battery should be longer. Well, actually, it should be the longest one here. He's relatively tiny, so we'll stick him right there. We'll stick him right there. All right, so now we got the screws right where they need to be. And we'll take this shield up. It just pops right off after you unscrew it. Stick it right there so we'll know that those screws is for that. And we're gonna have right here, the screen right here. I don't have my other spudger, so I'll just use this one of these. You just kind of, no, so this one is going to be first. It's on, we're going to do him. Have him right there. And he's right here. And there we go. Unscrew that. And then we got one more right here, guys. One, oh, there we go. And that's all. We got the digitizer and LCD separated. We're gonna stick him out over here out of the way. We'll stick him on a cloth here so he doesn't get damaged. Now we have the battery here. You're gonna see right here, we're gonna have to take this plate off. This is where the battery connector is gonna be, and I was trying to see, okay, it's just a regular small screwdriver. Just a small screwdriver. That's not a screwdriver. All right. Just a regular small screwdriver. And again, make sure you don't get these screws in the wrong spot. So you want to get them in the right spot, and then we're going to take that off, the shield off. We'll stick the shield right here so we know that these screws is for that. Then we want to take this and disconnect. We're going to disconnect the battery now, and it is right here. We can get underneath it. There we go. Now the battery is disconnected. So at this point, we're going to take the new battery out. And kind of just want to make sure that, oh look, it came with adhesives. I didn't have to buy that extra adhesive, but that's okay. I want to make sure that that is in fact the same battery, and it is. That's great. Alrighty. Now, if you'll notice here, you'll see two different, let's get one of these straight edges. You'll see two black tabs. You get underneath it, kind of pull it up, and it's actually adhesive is what it is. Now, I've got a hold of it. You'll see it's adhesive. Now, what you want to do is you want to pull straight out. You don't want to go back and forth like that, or bring it out to the sides like that. You just want to pull straight up and out like this. Well, see, it broke. That's what I was afraid of. That's going to make this a little harder to get out. This battery, that is. There's really no easier way to do this, honestly. The only problem is you got to make sure you don't puncture the battery when you're trying to get it out. Because if you do, literally, it will catch on fire. And that's what you don't want. Okay, well, it broke off too, but I still got a little bit of it here. Well, all right. So, yeah, it broke. All right, now we got to try to get that out without puncturing it. Kind of want to come from underneath there, this, without. You don't want to pry against the circuit board there, guys, because you will break it. Just kind of go under the battery and kind of separate it from the. I can see the adhesive right there. Gotta be real easy with this. Yeah, just starting to come up right here. You gotta be careful with these, guys, because there's literally cables right there. All right, starting to come up. Okay. So what's happening is we're pushing the adhesive towards the center with this battery, and literally it's just balling up, so it's not really releasing. Originally these were designed, guys, literally for you just to pull the tabs, and it's supposed to pull the whole strip of adhesive out. Then you just lift the battery out. It's literally how it's supposed to be. But this is an iPhone 6, so the adhesive has been, it looks like this is the original OEM battery. So literally this battery's never been replaced, and this is the original. From back then, so that in other words, the adhesive's really deteriorated, so it's not. Those tabs just literally broke instead of functioning like they're supposed to. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to bend it and all that good stuff. I'm getting underneath the adhesive now. Okay, let's go back this way. Okay, just about home free. There we go, and you can see how it balled up all the adhesive, guys. It's supposed to be just a strip all the way across. Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, okay, so that battery is out. Make sure that we get this. Kind of place it in. Make sure it's going to go correctly. All right, this is going to be double-sided. Let's undo this side first. There we go. Yeah, it's going to go like that. Okay. A little bit crooked, but that's all right. All right. Now you want to make sure whenever you place the battery down, guys, you want to make sure that you are able to plug it in. That's very, 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 very important. Okay, so let's pull this up a little bit. Okay. Okay. And there we go. Now we'll take this off and this off. And then we'll push these little tabs over. There's the new pull tabs for the next time this battery is changed. Chances are this will be the last time this battery is ever changed. I doubt this phone will be good long enough to go through another battery, but you know, stranger things have happened, I guess. So make sure you plug in the battery. Remember, it should just go in real easy like that. It should not be forced. Let's get the battery cover back plate shield back on. The screws are, make sure that they get in the right spot. One is longer than the other, so it's imperative that you get it in the right location. Okay, now let's get this back on. I'm gonna make sure that we do that. Okay. I'm going to make sure that all these connectors go in the right order and in the right spot. Remember, nothing should be forced. It should just go in real nice and easy. So let's get it. Usually I would be easier to use tweezers, wouldn't it? Just get the tweezers. Everything is connected. When you get to this part, you want to fire it up and make sure turn the light out so you can see easier. Make sure that the display comes up. I'm just going to lay it over like that. I'm going to power it on. Now, make sure the display comes up. What you're looking for when the display comes up is you want to make sure there's no like lines, looks like missing pixels or whatever, because if there is, your cables aren't hooked up correctly. Misaligned, maybe not seated correctly, then all you want to do is just unseat them and reseat them gently. Just let it power up and see what we got, guys. And there we go. You can see, make sure that everything's working correctly. You can see that there's no lines, there's no pixels, it's 25%. So hey, now at this point you want to go ahead and power it down. Power it down. When it's completely powered down, let's turn the light on. Let's flip this back up. All right, now at this point, you want to put the shield back on it. Line it up correctly. I will probably, honestly, I'll probably all right. It's not wanting to seat, my friends. There we go. Let's see if we can get a closer look at it, huh? Okay. Just go back in. Now, with the cables up here, you want to seat this in first. Just kind of angle it a little bit, because you can see these little lips. Well, you might not be able to see these little edges right here. I'm gonna go under the frame with it. There you go. Gently get it back lined up. Now we got to get the screws in. Get the other screw in. Give it one more test run. And what I'm going to do is, whenever I take it back to the customer, literally guys, I'm just going to leave it on the whole time, because by the time they're about 15 minutes away, so by the time I get to their place, theoretically with the old battery, it would be totally dead. So if I get there and it still hasn't moved any, then we know we got them a good battery. And so one thing you do want to do, guys, when you replace the battery and it's a new battery, is what you want to do is go ahead and use the phone and let it discharge until it's totally dead. And then you can see here that it's working and everything. Home button, yep, everything's working. So you want to make sure, guys, that let it discharge completely, and then you want to go ahead and plug it in and let it charge. So it's at 24% right now. That ought to do it. And there you go. Now that the iPhone is fixed, we'll get it back to the customer, and they'll surely be glad to have it back. So with that, we will call it a video, and hope you enjoyed it. Remember, drink more coffee, do good repairs.